So yeah, Searching. This is a new film starring that guy who played Harold from the Harold and Kumar movies.
John Cho.
John Cho, and directed by some other guy whose name I can't pronounce.
Yeah. I think this was like his first.
I think it was his first feature
major film debut.
Yeah. So this is basically it's like if you've ever seen the movies
Unfriended.
If you watch like a good version of those, this movie should, I think a funny marketing ploy would have been Unfriended the good version, or Unfriended but good, or
I think
movies are abysmal. So
I think the one thing that like it gets right that like all those other films don't is that it is able to like base the reality that we are seeing all of this on multiple computer screens
and cameras. The whole thing is shown to us through. It's kind of like a found footage film. The whole thing is shown to us either through computers or through cameras. And at some points in the film, what I really like is the aesthetic. It goes for like a horror movie vibe. Once the police issue an Amber Alert, because the main story here is that this guy's daughter gets allegedly kidnapped. So once the police issue an Amber Alert, all these people get interviewed, and it shows us like grain. It shows them to us through like this grainy filter. And it gives off like this very thriller. It's a thriller movie, so it gives off this very eccentric thriller vibe. So it feels a lot like
exactly.
So a lot of like when they're interviewing people, it looks very grainy sometimes.
Yeah,
and that was a really cool effect. Well, not effect. It was, I guess, filter lens. I don't know what you call it.
I think it's. Yeah, I think it kind of gets like the accuracy of like watching this on a video screen. On your laptop or something, like the different resolutions.
Or if you want to be more philosophical and go deeper, you could say they're trying to put you into the mindset of the main character, and as his world around him is deteriorating, his viewpoints are becoming less and less focused on people around him, and more focused on the things he wants to focus on. I highly doubt that's what the director had in mind. But if he did, or even if he didn't, that's a really cool way of looking at it. Just say, okay, once this guy finds evidence that his daughter's been kidnapped, because later on in the movie, he sees how his he finds evidence like his daughter's keychain with a Pokeball. That was her favorite.
And the car is in the water.
His daughter's car in the water. After that happens, everything goes like super fast. The pacing goes super fast, and everything goes like so fast, and it focuses on and it narrows on this one guy's field of view, and you could say, okay, since everything's going so fast, everything gets blurred and it gets all mangled together. Because when people panic, they don't think straight, and you could say, okay, this guy's panicking, he's not thinking straight. Therefore, everything is a blur to him. Of course, I highly doubt that's what the director was intending. But if you want to be a philosophical guy about it, then that's one way.
Well, actually, at some point, the father he starts jumping into conclusions, hoping things will solve itself. Like there's this one point where he talks to one of his daughter Margot's Facebook friends, who is he's like one of those guys from Jersey Shore. He's like vaping and stuff.
That guy? Oh yeah, the guy who was at the Bieber concert. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, who claimed he was at the Bieber concert.
Well, he was at the Bieber concert. That was confirmed.
Yeah. All right. But and at one point, like at one point, like he looks at one of the Facebook posts and immediately he goes to the movie theater and beats him up.
Not immediately. Not the first time he sees him. The second time he meets him, he beats him up. So
yeah.
Yeah,
and that ends up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
he breaks his jaw. Oh, so this director is only 27 years old. That's really impressive. His name is Anish Chaganty, or Chaganty. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is his directorial debut. So yeah, he's only 27. He looks a lot older, because at the beginning of this movie, you see the director there's this really cool 3-minute short film. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was really funny, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be on the DVD or Blu-ray release of this movie. But if it is, it's nice to mention it. He's
the producer. Yeah. He's one of the producers of this movie, so I guess it might happen. But short film. But that's kind of the point of this whole idea of using technology now.
Yeah, it's like a modern day neo-noir movie where like everything is set up to be very mysterious and you don't know what's going on half the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, of course, like it could have just been a simple kidnapping, but of course, it wouldn't have been an entertaining movie if it was just a simple kidnapping. So of course,
Well,
they have to make
there
things,
have been a lot of, well, I mean,
or if it was a simple,
with a lot of missing cases, there's always like, everyone jumps into conclusions, especially when we're in the internet age. You know, everyone claims like someone's dead, someone's missing, someone's here, someone's there. I think one of the big ones now that I've kind of been covering for the past few years, not for any report or anything, but there was the star of Debbie Does Dallas. Apparently the main star, I'm just look it up. Anyway, like she has a missing case that has been.
Rosemary?
Well, no, I'm talking about this other one. This is real. This is real. It's not in the movie.
Oh.
This is real life. The lead actress of a movie called Debbie Does Dallas, her missing case has been going on for about 25, like, long after the movie came out. And there has been speculation, and I think the internet has kind of fueled a lot of more of the rumors regarding what has happened and things like that. And well, thankfully, it's with this movie, we were able to see the truth within like all these missing cases and how people react to them.
Yeah, this is a very grounded kidnapping movie with a horror. I wouldn't really call it a horror movie. I'd call it this is a suspense thriller movie. It's got so of course they have to fudge some things. They make up a fake website called Ucast because they don't want to use any real websites because they don't want to get anyone in trouble. So they have to make up a fake website.
Yeah, apparently they can't use like Twitch. They have YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and Instagram,
but
like all those.
One of the big plot points of this movie is there's this fictional website called Ucast, which is basically like Instagram where people post videos of themselves.
Because there really isn't like there's a streaming website that was really that as popular as YouTube or all the others.
Yeah, and I guess So anyway, what's interesting about this movie is at the very beginning. I know it's not. We should have started at the beginning, but at the beginning of this movie, it starts off in the year 2001. You see how
it does the Up montage.
Yeah, you see how Up.
Yeah, the one with the
balloons.
Well, the one where the wife dies. The wife dies in there, and they're doing like the entire montage.
The Disney movie.
Yeah, Disney's Up.
Yeah, Disney's Up. Yeah. So
but they do the same montage thing, but it's like internet form.
Yeah. So what happens is it starts off in the year 2001. You see this like old-looking web browser, and then as years go by, you see like YouTube in its early alpha stage when you got the classic yellow subscribe button, and you got the 5-star rating system instead of this crappy up-down thumb system we have now, which I hate. I like the 5-star rating system. That was so much cooler. And then you see how, and I don't know how they did that, but they managed to get some guy to like Photoshop crop an old YouTube looking page from 2007 onto this video.
I don't think it's really that hard to replicate nowadays.
Yeah, but it looked really cool. It looked really authentic. It was really cool to see that small attention to detail.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is 2007. YouTube wasn't this over glorified mess of ads bombarding you, being bombed on you every 5 seconds like it is now. And people actually back in 2007, YouTube was actually a community of artists and people who cared about making good content. Now it's just about
we say that while I'm posting on YouTube.
Yeah. Now it's about which teenager is the best Fortnite streamer, and let's give them all the money while hardworking, talented artists who work really hard to make good content get shit on. So yeah,
Burger King foot lettuce, the worst thing you want. Again, like.
Yeah, so that's a nice callback to 2007. I really wish.
I think like that perspective during that montage really shows like the quality of technology improving.
Improving, yeah. And then you see this guy getting
kind of.
Yeah, then you
like,
see this guy getting like bombarded with ads as he's downloading more stuff. He gets tons of ads, and
yeah, exactly.
so the more stuff he downloads, the more ads he gets. So yeah, it's fun at the beginning how they show technology improving over the course of like 15 years from 2001 to 2017. Or was it, was it 2002? Yeah, 2002 or 2000. She's 16, so yeah. This movie takes place in 2017. I guess the director thought he would be able to make it come out in 2017, but I'm assuming it for some reasons it had to be held back a year. So for some reason,
I mean,
I guess the movie was supposed to, I think, probably come out in 2017 for some reason, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter. I mean, like, yeah. So, he's this main guy played by John Cho. That's his name, right?
Yeah,
like
John Cho.
His daughter in the movie is a 16-year-old high school senior or junior. I'm not sure.
Well,
junior, I think.
Yeah.
So it shows how disconnected this guy was from his daughter. Like he thinks he knows her, but then when she was missing, he doesn't know anything about her. He calls up her friends who are like, "Oh yeah, I was just using her to pass AP because I wanted to cheat off her to pass AP bio." And then like another friend's like, "Oh, I only bought her camping with me. I only wanted to invite her camping with me because my mom felt sorry for her." And then she gets kidnapped. Like, oh, and everyone's like, "Oh, we were her friends." And I'll pretend to cry.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I think that was kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if like a couple of my friends really kind of feel that way when like. Yeah, here's the thing about me personally, and it really kind of shows like there's like the disconnection between parent and child, and I think the way they did it was very much accurate to how, I guess some people, I don't know, I might be speaking of personal experience, but I think I've heard a lot of cases regarding
crick in my neck, sorry.
Regarding whose parent doesn't know this, whose parent doesn't know that, something like that.
Yeah. So let's see what else was there. There was the then there's the fact that it starts off, you think, okay, when she gets kidnapped, you start unfolding things over time. Like, okay, this guy, his daughter has been missing. Her piano recitals for the past 6 months, and she's been like stealing his money for piano recitals. There's this one woman who charges $100 an hour for piano, or $60 for half an hour. I'm like, who the fuck charges $100 an hour for piano recitals? I'm like, no,
lessons, piano
lessons, of course, piano lessons.
I mean,
she better be the best piano player in the world at that rate. But I digress.
I don't know.
So what happens is
well, I mean, yeah, I think I might know, like. I mean, there are a couple of piano teachers. I think my parents have paid like at least a little higher than like $50 for. But I don't know. I think the reason why I charge
that's
a lot
important.
cheaper, but
that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, what happens is we find out that she's been stealing money. At first, he thinks that okay, she's stealing money because she wants to go on this trip, this camping trip, and she's been stealing money for the past 6 months. Then he finds out it wasn't on this camping trip, and then he calls the police, and they find out that she gave money to someone. And should we go into spoilers? I mean, I don't. This movie's been out for like almost a month now, and it didn't. And I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about the movie without spoiling things because you have to talk about how every like interaction matters and every little detail matters and like
there's
really no way to talk about this movie without spoiling it. So what happens is at the end of the movie, it turns out the main detective who we thought was given the case actually volunteered for the case because her mentally challenged son was using her Margot, the main character Margot. I call her Margot, the girl, the 16-year-old girl. What kind of name is Margot for a girl?
Anyway, it turns out she was donating the money to him.
Yeah, because he was pretending to be on the chat. He was
image
using a stock image of an actress, and he was pretending to be a sick girl whose mother's in the hospital. So he preyed on her naivete, and so my mother's in the hospital. I have to work so many hours this week, and she felt bad for her. So she sent him like $2,500 through a digital transaction, which they found on her Bank of America accounts. It's kind of complicated. I mean,
yeah, I mean the way they move it is that the detective herself the detective herself was actually, meant to cover up something for her son
Yeah.
that she did, because the father eventually, reported that missing case. And yeah, a lot of that, because, and ultimately the pieces come into place. Like, there are a lot of pieces in that puzzle that I think there aren't really blink twice you miss it. I think you remember a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, and like earlier on, she talks about how her mentally challenged son, who was like 12 years old, was asking people for $25 to raise money for a fictional policeman's charity, and the mother said, "Oh, he asked me for $25," and then you think now, okay,
Yeah, you assume
and then it
that.
shows that, and then later on, you see how like when the guy Kim, or whatever his name is, whatever his last name is.
I Yeah, John Cho.
John Chow, yeah. When he finds his daughter's neck keychain, he calls the police, and then he calls her, and then he's like, "Did you call the police?" Like, you can tell, okay, she's clearly worried about something, and you have this feeling that she's getting that she has something to do with it. At that point, when I saw the movie, I'm like, okay, the first time I saw the movie, this is the second time I've seen it. At that point, my first time, I'm like, okay, she doesn't want to see, she doesn't want us to know something. She's hiding something. What could it be? And then we see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I assumed that Margot and that much like her son, Margot was like doing something that wasn't really, really legal, or something that that her father would disapprove of. And yeah, we get that. And and then we know that the father ultimately wants to have this solved. And the way he sees it, like, he wants like a definitive answer. And he doesn't really get it, and that like leads to him like going crazy. At one point, he's, obviously he punches someone who he thinks has to do with it, and then he tries to strangle his own brother, because
yeah, I think his brother has something. Apparently, his brother was just selling her, because he sees a text message between his daughter and his brother. He's like, "Oh, don't tell your dad; he'll kill me." It turns out that he was just selling her marijuana, and because he was. But okay, there were some things that I think could have improved upon. Like, I never got the sense that he was a traditional strict Asian parent that the brother was making him out to be. Like, his brother was like she hated piano lessons, and she took all the money because she hated piano, because piano reminds her of her dead mother.
well, again,
yeah.
we don't see that.
Yeah, we don't see
any
the
of
parents being like very strict traditional Asian parents.
And I don't think he is.
So I don't think he is too, but they treat
there are
him.
a lot of Well, I mean, when they're,
He's very lax at the beginning of the film. He's very easygoing. He like when she doesn't take out the garbage, she's like, "You didn't take out the garbage." He makes light of it. So he's very lax at the beginning. I think if they showed more of them being like strict parents, that would have been like that would have been that would have been like, it would have made it make more sense when he's like, "Don't tell my dad, he'll kill me." Like, at the beginning of the movie, we see his brother with like a pot of marijuana, and he's like, "Oh, you're smoking weed." And okay, if his reaction like that at the beginning, why would he be so upset if he found out his daughter was smoking weed? Like, he wouldn't be that upset.
The thing is, I mean, first off, this is my argument. I think it's not it's not what she's hiding. It's what I think neither of them, what they know about and refuse to speak of, namely the dilemma that his wife, Margot's mother, is dead.
Yeah.
And that is a hard pill to take. They don't want to talk about. There's something that you don't want to talk about regarding that. And that's really hard, because your child does not know how you like, the child does not know what the parent feels. And so when Margot decides not to take piano lessons because it reminds her of her mother, like, she doesn't know how her father feels about that because he knows she enjoys it. He knows she enjoys playing the piano, and but it's the things that, like, neither, like, it's those kind of, like, things that is, like, really hard on a relationship, and some things are just kind of hard to really discuss. That's just kind of what I think.
Yeah. So anyway, at the end of the movie, they find her and she's alive, and they have happy ever after. And then the woman's son gets released because she takes all the blame for him. And I wonder if they're planning on some kind of, like, I mean,
I think I really feel like this. I think the film really is really good at standing on its own.
Yeah.
The story's over. It's a well-defined thriller. It was able to use what it had and do it correctly.
Yeah, like I said, my favorite movie is The Sixth Sense, and what I like about movies like those are thrillers or any kind of movie that has a twist ending, but there is some kind of hint leading up to it. It's not like the twist ending just comes out of nowhere. There's nothing to hints at it. The Sixth Sense had tons of hints leading up to the twist ending, and this movie, like I said, also had hints with the way the police woman Rosemary, the way she was acting, the way that she talked about her son, the way that. I don't know.
Yeah, the things that the things that she ends up doing, will end up, kind of fulfilling that. It's basically fulfillment for what the conclusion gives us.
Yeah. Also, this is a very. This movie, like I said, it doesn't require you to pay incredibly close attention, but it's not an action movie. There's not much action here. I don't think there's really any action here. So don't go into this movie thinking it's gonna be like a horror movie with like tons of like people like uncovering secret hidden cults or like using or like trying to sacrifice people for like some kind of cult, like Stonehenge trying to like sacrifice this girl to summon aliens or whatever. Like I thought that they would be like they have some stupid cult thing. Like it turns out that they were like using that they were like when I first saw this movie, I thought that they might have been like they were gonna try and like do some like sort of ridiculous anti-drug PSA or the cult or like these cult members. This would be a hilarious idea for an outtake if they ever do this. Like have like these cult members who are using marijuana to because in the movie there's a scene where the detective, we've heard of this part, she drugs up an ex-convict and uses some kind of drug to get him to confess to murdering the girl Margot, so the police would think she was dead, so that way they would leave her alone and leave the case alone. And then she kills him and fakes a suicide. Like, I thought it would have been hilarious if they tried to blame marijuana for it and say, marijuana causes you to do this, and it's used by bad people to make you do this. And the reason why this girl was kidnapped was because an evil cult was using her, and they were stoned, and they were using marijuana to try and summon aliens from Stonehenge. Like that would have been hilarious. Like maybe if someone as like a parody, someone just like make a parody of that. Like if there's ever a movie where someone wants to make like an anti-drug PSA. Or, like,
I don't know how many people really saw this one.
I'm just saying that would have sucked, but it would have been hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that it didn't do that.
Of course.
And I think the reason why I picked this one was because I am a huge fan of John Cho.
I liked him in the Harold and Kumar movies. I don't know how much else he's done.
Well, he's done the Star Trek reboot movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was Sulu.
Sulu, right.
And I guess mainly because I don't know. He was like the very first like Asian male lead that I think I've ever really. I don't know. He like kind of I ever kind of latched on to as like a role model.
He was one of my favorites growing up. Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. But yeah, Jackie Chan mostly like action comedy. Yeah. But John Cho, I think, I guess he had more. I guess you consider him having more range in terms of anything. Like he did the comedy with Harold and Kumar. He did, action sci-fi with the Star Trek stuff, and there was this drama movie called Columbus, which I'm I saw parts of, and I'm absolutely wanted to see the whole thing, and now he can do thriller,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty cool. So
He's got a wide range.
yeah, and here I think this was a really good film for him to try out, and something worth seeing. Yeah. And
So is there anything else we're missing? We got the drug convict guy. We got the
I guess I've said all I had to say.
Okay, me too.
So yeah, I don't want to do the this is the last video joke we did, but it's fine. We're fine. Don't worry. We'll see you later.